All right. So welcome to Create Bliss Art School virtually. This has been a fun week and I'm just so happy to have you. I hope you all have your supplies. You should have a sketchbook. I put all those sketchbooks together. Your sketchbook is on the front is a hard paper that is a watercolor paper. It's a nicer paper that's going to take water better than these other papers underneath. But I gave you a stack, and every week we're going to do a warm-up, just a little warm-up on our regular paper. So these sketchbooks are yours. Do what you want with them. If you just keep going and you fill up every single page, go get some copy paper and add it to it. And so you've got one every time that we meet. We kind of do a warm-up. This is where I like to introduce our elements of art, our principles of design. You should each have some watercolors. Open those up if you haven't already. Some colored pencils. This is a funny joke, is when you order on Amazon and you think you're getting regular size paintbrushes and they come mini paintbrushes. So here you go. You have mini paintbrushes for this one. If you have bigger paintbrushes or other art supplies you want to add to this, feel free to add whatever you want. If you have pastels you want to add, or if you have glitter or whatever, this is your time, your space, your creation. I'm going to show some things, but you're welcome to take off and do whatever you want with that. If you haven't already, you will need a little bowl of water or a little cup of water when it's time for us to paint. You should all have some Zentangle papers. I teach this to every student who comes through my classroom. It's something that's important to me and a good skill to have. So people like Gwen and London have heard that lesson a few times, so we're going to do a little review so that we all have that skill. If you'll do me a favor and keep your supplies organized and together, every single week, I'm going to have everybody's supplies in those bins that you found. It looks like everybody found them this time. So I'll have everybody's supplies that you can pick up every week after 10 o'clock on Mondays. So when you grab those, add those to this, because I might teach you something next week with oil pastels, but then ask you to pull the watercolors. All the supplies that are coming to you are yours to keep. That was a tricky thing for me to try to think about, was how am I going to get supplies to everybody? I have a million supplies in this room, but I have like class sets and we all use them each week. But I thought that's going to be complicated to try to have it rotate. So all the supplies coming to you are going to be yours to keep, and I've got some pretty fun stuff coming your way. Let's go ahead and start with just a warm-up. If you'll take your sketchbook and flip it over so that we're on just the first of the thinner pages. So we're going to come back today to do an actual this is where we'll do our main project today on this paper, but right now we're going to do our little warm-up on that first page of your sketchbook. And pull out your water or your colored pencils. I have found that you can't see mine very well when I use the colored pencils, so I'm going to kick in with my Sharpies because it's a little bolder for you to see. So you use your colored pencils and I'll use my Sharpies. We're going to start today with just talking about the element of line. There's 7 elements of art. I always incorporate the elements of art and principles of design into every lesson that I teach. So today we're talking about the element of line. Line is the way to connect one point to another point. And there's a million ways to do it. So obviously we can do a straight line, but we could do a curvy, we could do a loop-de-loop. So we're just going to practice different kinds of lines, and we will be incorporating this into Zentangles and then into our project on the front as well. So grab whatever color you want and start on that page by just drawing a circle in the middle. Whatever color you want, just colored pencils. And then do a circle outside of that or around it. And now just start with a basic line. Let's just do a straight line. And you're going to fill that whole space in. And as we repeat, we're creating a pattern And that's a pretty basic way to make a line. Somebody raise their hand and tell me another way to make a line. There's a million ways, and you can keep going with whatever way. Somebody just raise their hand like this and tell me a way to make a line. Thank you, Zoe. Thank you. Come on up. Come on up. Hold on. Hold on. Unmute you. All the things. There's so many things.
Like you could like kind of make like a leaf pattern, I guess.
Love it. A leaf pattern. You're getting yes. Technical. Love it. So this meeting is so this that we're creating, when we start in the middle with a circle, it's called a mandala. A mandala has radial symmetry, meaning it's the same as it spreads out all the way around. There's a million really fascinating ways to create mandalas. So I'm teaching you the element of line through a mandala. Your leaf might look different than mine. There would be a million ways to make a leaf, but thank you. That's a really interesting way to make a line. Somebody give me another way to do a line. Anyone else want to share something? Oh, Gabby. Oh, let's go down to Blake here for a second. I'll come back to you, Gabby. Hi, Blake.
Maybe spiky.
Spiky. That would be a lot of ways to draw it in the air. How would you draw a spiky?
Just like around it, just a spiky. Like
Spiky around it? Okay, perfect.
Like, I don't know.
There would be a lot of ways to do that, but I like that word spiky. So I am going to do another circle around mine. And I'm going to just do, it's almost like the leaf, and yours might look different than mine, but when you say spiky, that feels like spiky. It also kind of reminds me of the word zigzag. Try, these are all continuous lines. Let's try a broken line. A broken line, continuous lines mean when I put my pen down, I leave it down and I don't lift it up all the way through. When I do a broken line, I'm picking my pencil up, or my art tool up in between. So I could fill a broken line inside of these. So see how I'm picking my hand up each time? That's called a broken line. And I'm just doing a little circle. You can also use symbols and do symbols over and over again, which will also create a pattern. So I did a circle. What other kinds of symbols could you fill in to maybe those spiky pieces? I'm going to do a heart. This world needs a lot of love. So I'm going to incorporate a bunch of hearts today. So you can take symbols and repeat them, and now they are creating a kind of line through a broken line, and now we're creating an interesting pattern. Let's try, here, that's interesting that you said leaf design, because this is a mandala moving out, and a perfect example of a mandala in nature would be a flower. There's other things too, but a flower, and that reminds me of a flower, like a sunflower moving out. So nature creates perfect mandalas in lots of different ways. Can you guys see mine okay? Give me a thumbs up if you feel like you can see mine okay. Okay, it's better than the, when I use colored pencil. I am going to try a wavy line. Oh, weird. It's tricky when I'm upside down. Whoa, that's weird. That's like I'm writing backwards. All right, kind of weird, wavy. So I'm just building this out. Maybe you'll have some more radial, try somewhere, these are all uniform lines, so they're all the same thickness. let's try some lines that are actually thick versus thin. I'm gonna hop in the middle here, and I'm gonna do a couple more circles, and I'm going to fill in every other. So I'm creating this funky checkerboard. Oh, I didn't make it even. Anyway, so try somewhere, some sort of a checkerboard or a way to do thick versus thin. You could even do zigzags. And you could fill those in. This looks like the one-eyed monster of lakes with a million lakes. He's running away from the coronavirus. Keep building yours out. How about spiral, or you got, let's see, you could do, yes, you could do a spiral. In nature, a snail would be a spiral. You could do just loop-de-loop, that's the word. Is it? I don't know. Loopy. So keep building. It's saying my internet is unstable, which that's lame. If all of a sudden I'm like gone. I seem to be here for now. Does anybody have one that they want to share, showing some ideas that are coming? You don't have to. If you do, put your piece up by your camera and then I'll zoom in on you. You don't have to, but it's fun. The idea of a class is to learn from each other. So a lot of times people inspire each other just simply by sitting next to them or showing them something. Is that, Valencia, is that your hand up to share, or will you share? Perfect, thank you. Hold on, we'll pull you forward here. And unmute yourself. Wait a second. Can you unmute it? There you are. Hi.
What you can do is that you could do like little zigzag lines.
Say that again one more time, a little louder.
You can do a zigzag line.
Zigzag line, I love it. Will you show me what you're working on? Do you mind sharing? You don't want to? That's okay. Azure, will you show me yours? It's okay, you don't have to. I can see some big designs happening. Awesome, I love it. Great, oh my goodness, you got the mandala going. Can I see yours, Azure?
I'm not done with this work.
It doesn't matter, just show us so we can see some different lines. You don't have to. Love it, beautiful. And I don't want anyone to ever feel uncomfortable. If you don't want to share, that's okay. Okay, thank you. Claire and Cole, do you want to share?
I'm sure.
Put it up close to the camera so we can see it a little better. Oh, nice. Perfect. These are amazing. Oh, I want to see it. Yeah. Cole, you're good friends with Alex Tullis, right?
Yeah, he's my good friend.
Best. He builds me things. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, he's good at that stuff.
I'm with you.
Now I know, I feel like I know you now. When Alex is like, I'm going to cold.
Oh yeah, I remember when I went over to your house one time and he was there. Like I went to hang out with him.
I think that you came over and jumped on the tramp or something.
Yeah.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to show you some possibilities of these Zentangles, okay? So the idea of a Zentangle, and like I said, some of you who have been with me have heard this word before, but a Zentangle, I read this book that was powerful and meaningful, and it's a way to just tap into this creative space without having to be attached to anything. It doesn't have to look amazing. It doesn't have to look like anything. It can be abstract. But it's this idea of getting into drawing lines and repeating lines over and over, and they start kind of just repeating themselves as soon as you get connected to it and into it. And I can't think of a better time than where we're at right now, when our outside world has gone away for a little bit. We all have our inside world. And this is a very healthy and powerful place to be. And when we're creating, I think you'll find that your energy comes down, your stress levels come down, and this should feel like a peaceful time rather than a chaotic. So I like to explain that to my students, because you all need tools. We all need tools that when we're going through life, if you haven't had something happen yet, I think we all have just by going through this. Life has changed for us, and we all need tools. So we can always pick up a paintbrush or pick up a Sharpie, pick up an art supply, and just start creating. And it's the process of creating. It's what happens while you're creating is where the healing happens. I don't really care what you create to put on a wall or in a frame. The product, though sometimes fantastic, isn't the focus. The focus is what is happening to you while you're creating. So you'll hear me talk a lot about energy and how are you feeling now, like when you are tapped into that. And that's a space that we all have. We're all born as artists. We're all born with the ability to create. And simply by creating, we're in a powerful space. I gave you 6 of these because you can use them all week. If you run out, you can go just cut up some squares of your own. The idea of a small square, sometimes when we do a big piece of paper, it feels a little overwhelming and we're like, oh my gosh, what am I supposed to do with that whole thing? But a small little square, we can all do something little. And also the idea of a Zentangle is using just a black Sharpie or micron pens. It doesn't have to be any exotic art supplies. So I gave you a few so you can share with your family. You can use them all for yourself, but it might be a nice activity that you can share this process because everybody can do it. I'm going to, the idea of a Zentangle is to just repeat lines over and over. And you are doing that as we speak. I'm going to pull my iPad into this and show you some examples. So this is the idea. There's a Zentangle, breaking up space with just a black line, dividing space, and then in each place that you've divided, you're picking new patterns, new lines, and repeating them over and over. You can see that there's some thick spots in there, there's some thin spots, there's broken lines, continuous lines. You'll be amazed at how addicting this can be. You can spend hours sometimes in Zentangles. Buttons, you've done some Zentangles, huh? Give me a thumbs up, I see your faces. Oh my gosh, I love these kids. Oh, it's so good to see your faces. Symbols can be pulled into your designs, and you can repeat them as patterns or work around them. There's a spiral symmetry, so it's all starting from the middle. That's the mandala idea, scooted kind of to the side. But you can see there's a lot of different ways that we can make a line and that we can pull that moving out. That's the mandala as well, like a flower, but starting from the corner. So I want to show, my daughter Sarah did these, and they're pretty big. They're 12 by 12, so like a foot by a foot. And my kids are all like, we don't do art, Mom, you do art. But then she sat in and been my assistant to enough classes that she started doing these entangles. And she like seriously got super addicted to them to where she was doing them all the time. And she would do these beautiful big pieces. I framed these couple, and you can see she was in a zone. She was pretty connected, and she gets into it, and it's almost like doing a puzzle, or it's just a real release. She started with just a black Sharpie and pulled in some other colors. So we're gonna do some of this. If you wanna add watercolors to them, the traditional Zentangle is just black and white, but it's pretty fun to get crazy with them and add color and add symbols. So I just wanted to show you these possibilities. This is an amazing mandala. If you go on YouTube and you search Zentangles, you'll be sucked in for like 4 hours just watching people do their Zentangles. It's like totally mesmerizing. It can get pretty funky. So put this down for a minute. Let's just do a traditional Zentangle together. While we're going to use a Sharpie, and a lot of you are at your nice kitchen tables, so I'm going to close my sketchbook up, and I'm going to put my Zentangle on top of my back of my sketchbook so my Sharpie doesn't go through. Obviously, it wouldn't matter to that, but on your kitchen counters, I bet your parents wouldn't love it if your Sharpie went through. So divide your space. There's a million ways to do it. If you know how to do it and you want to go for it, great, go for it. You can do swirlies. You could even do your initial as one and then divide. I just am trying to make interesting shapes. So I can do an object if I want, or I can just do lines and keep it completely abstract. And that way I might start on the left and do a loop over to the right and repeat that, start at the top and go to the bottom, and then pick one more, maybe one more line to divide. So after you have your space divided, now you're going to do exactly what we just did with the lines, and you're going to start filling in the spaces. And you want to fill in this one space all the way till you hit the borders of the same pattern. So those were just straight lines. You can do broken lines. I'm going to do a dash dot, and keep repeating that. And see if you can just get focused and connected to this little silly paper that can really take all of your energy and kind of bring you into that zone that feels stress-free and calm. They've done studies that when they actually measure things that are measurable, like your cortisol levels or your heart rate or blood pressure, and they'll measure that before somebody where they are, and then you give them 30 minutes of creating. It might be with a guitar, it might be dancing, it might be Zentangling or painting, and physically things change that you can measure, and it's pretty powerful. So I just want you to know all these pharmaceuticals spend billions and billions of dollars trying to figure out a magic pill that will bring stress down, and we all have it right here. We're all equipped. We can all do that for ourselves. So it's just a matter of learning how to bring our energy down and our stress levels down. So we're going to take the next little bit and just spend some time in these Zentangles. And like I said, you can do one, and I've watched people take one little one and spend hours on it. Or you can do more than one if you would like to add some paint to it. But we'll do that for the next few minutes before we pull out our big design. I'm going to put this on. When I put my iPad up, can you see my face at the same time? Give me a thumbs up. If I put my iPad up, can you see me and the iPad, or do you just see the iPad? Give me a thumbs up if you can see me and the iPad. Yeah? Maybe it's different if it's at a computer, or I don't know. Did I just go small and then the other image is big? I don't know what you guys are seeing, so it's kind of funny.
On the corner and then like the whole screen's large.
The whole, who's talking? Say, I gotta find you. Who's talking? Who was that? Is that Eli? No. Say that again, whoever was talking.
Azure, that's me. In the corner, you're like small, but then in the whole screen, we can see the design.
Perfect. Okay, so you can see both. Do you want me to leave the designs up for a minute so that you can see the design ideas and you can get ideas of ways to do lines? Yeah? Oh, I like your thumbs up. Look at you, techie girl. Valencia and Azure, you're figuring that out. Thank you. I'll kind of toggle with some of these that sometimes it's nice to look for inspiration of ways to make a line. I'm trying to pick the best one. I mean, that one's pretty cool. Those micron pens, I've got them in my studio. If you really get into this idea of Zen tingling, then invest in some microns. They're pretty cool because each micron is a different width. So you get the teeny tiny fine lines as well as the thick ones, kind of like a Sharpie. And those can be kind of fun. If you want to incorporate symbols, you think about things that may be important to you or represent you, you can do symbols and repeat them. And find some space to have fill in like the background. Like if I do circles and fill in the background to be black, it's a nice break for the eye to have the contrast. So contrast means things that are a little bit different. So that means I've got some things where the white's showing through, some things that the black is showing through. And like I said, a traditional Zentangle doesn't have color, but if you decide with your itty bitty brush, you want to go in and add some color, I think it's pretty fun. This is the quietest class. I just mute everybody and then it's totally quiet. Rude teacher. Huh? Oh my gosh. Do I have any questions? Does anyone need to wave at me and have a question, or are we doing okay? Awesome.
Okay. Hi. For these, I have some paint pens. Are we allowed to use them?
Sure, whatever you want. Paint pens are pretty thick, and paint pens have oil in them, so paint pens really stain. So, and they can get pretty full. So I don't know if yours are thin or thick or whatever. It's a pretty tiny piece of paper.
We're using big paper.
You're using big paper?
Yeah, we wanted to try it.
Okay, you know what? This is your art time, so it's perfect. I love it.
Okay.
Paint pens could be interesting when we flip to the front of our sketchbook, because that paper is thicker and it's going to take it a little bit easier.
Okay.
Whatever supplies you have, whatever supplies you want to incorporate, this is your art time. This is your stuff, so it's perfect. Whatever you do.
Okay.
Love this, sweetie.
Do.
Button's doing. Where'd you go? Buttons. Hey, Buttons, Matt and Katie, are you guys doing okay?
Yep.
Anybody want to share what they're working on? Let's see, Katie, are you going to share?
Mm.
Oh, put it up close. Wait, now it's too far off. There you go. Oh, nice, amazing. I love it. Can you guys see that when oh my goodness. Azure and Valencia. Let's see that, hold that close. Are these too little for you guys to see? Yes, should I get rid of this screen? Stop share, goodbye iPad. Hi Buttons, you just jumped on up. Yay, wait a minute. We had Azure, where'd you go? Where'd you go? All right, I got Germers. Bring it on in. Hi, you lost some friends.
Hi.
Hi, I like that friend.
Share Hallies.
These are amazing. They're like masterpieces, these mini masterpieces. Better be careful, it's kind of addicting. I'm just saying, it can be strangely addicting, these little pieces of paper, these little Zen tingles. There are worse things to be addicted to. This is a very healthy thing. Yes. Thank you, sweetie. Who else wants to pull theirs forward? I think I saw Hurtado. Let's see here. Hi. I'm unmuting you, Eli. Let's see it. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness, you guys, these are incredible. Have you done this before?
Kind of. Callie has. I haven't.
No? I'm impressed. That's pretty cool. If you want to add color, you can, but you don't.
What are the mints for?
Oh, we need one of those in just a minute. You can eat it whenever you want, but they're for sure to eat. Hi. Hi. Show me your stuff. See if we can hear you. Oh, wow. Pull that forward. You've added some color. I love it. He's got an H in there. What's cool about that H is it becomes part of your design, and it's almost like Where's Waldo, right? It just incorporates.
Mhm.
Yeah. Good work, buddy. You must have had some experience doing some centingles
Yeah.
from a fantastic art teacher, right? Thanks, buddy. Hi, let's see what you got. I had you for a minute. Ooh, nice. You've got a couple going. Oh, look at the way you're breaking up your space. That's so interesting. Good job. Love it. Can I see yours, Azure? Ooh, I love the solid black. Isn't that interesting contrast? Black is a choice and solid white is a choice too. Both of those things can Pop in. Love it.
Better.
Adele, can I see your stuff? Hi.
Hi.
How are you, beautiful? Oh, fearless. Cheer.
One for my cheer team.
I love that. Do you listen to AC/DC?
No, we have this band thing, and AC/DC is my cheer team's band.
Oh, perfect. I love that. You can incorporate these into like being about you. And that is perfect to lead us into our next spot. Thank you, Adele. Amazing. Wow, these beautiful artists that are in, I feel like you're in my room with me. You're not quite, but how about my friends, the Browns? Do you guys mind sharing? Hi.
I'll go.
Do either of you want to show me?
I'll go. Wait, can this see? What the heck? Oh.
Hear you. Yeah, you're good. Let's see it, Griffin. Oh, now I can't hear you. Wait a minute. I'll hit the button. Ah, where'd you go? Did you unmute yourself?
Yeah, I'm muted.
I can hear you. Show me your.
Okay. So I did this. I don't know if you can see it, but
Oh my goodness. Wow. Again, those solid dark and solid white. The contrast is amazing. Thank you. It's gorgeous. How about you, Ash?
I'm not done, but I've gotten this.
Oh, love it. Can you comment, Griffin and Ashton, on your energy and how it feels when you're connected to this and when you're in this process of creating? Do you mind commenting on that?
you go first. I don't want to go first. Okay.
Well, what I don't see is you two fighting or bickering. You seem pretty at peace with each other. Do you feel like you're in a pretty peaceful space?
Yeah.
Maybe when I mute them, they punch each other's lights out. I don't know that.
Wow.
Just kidding. Don't do that. All right, we're about ready to move on, but I'm hoping to hear from London for a minute. London, can I see your face? Hi. Do you mind sharing what you've got going? You always are creating amazing things. I'll unmute you. Okay. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Wow. Yeah, I love it. You're in the zone. I can feel it. Well, we're at 5, so that is halfway through. So this is always a good time. If you were in my art class, in my space, I would say take a little break for a minute and stretch and use the bathroom if you need it, get a drink if you need it. Now's a great time for a snack. In my class, I give you better snacks, but I gave you mints. So if you have another snack in your house that you need a cracker or something, go for it. But I think, I don't know, a mint might refresh you a little bit. And I would also take a minute to just stretch. Sometimes we are in this position where we're kind of hunkered down this way over our pieces. And so if you'll take a minute and just find some space and open up your chest and stretch up high, just do a few things to get that blood going again. Sometimes it's hard. You get so connected to your piece that you're like in the zone and you forget, and it's 7 hours later and you're still then tingling. So just take a minute where you stretch, kind of move your hips, stand up, move around. I see Claire, I can see you moving. Perfect. Reach up, reach your hands, wiggle your fingers, reach them up high. Behind here, this is a good one. Stretch out those front muscles. And have a little drink or a snack, whatever you need. So wiggle a bit, and then we'll come back down to get into our main event. I'm gonna unmute all for 1 second so you can.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Gabby.
This is like,
Miles, you can't help yourself. You're like, yeah, I'm getting in on the Zentangle. I can. Hey, good job.
And are
Yeah.
you
explosion. It's a guy. He's like,
I'm not muted. She unmuted everyone. She unmuted?
I am muted.
I have you all unmuted if you want to. It's Claire. Hi, Claire. Are you saying hi?
I can do it before you.
I see some chat going on. You got
I need some juice. There's my juice. I got my juice.
Okay, can we get back onto it?
Impossible.
So these entangles you can return to all week. You can do all 6. You can share them.
I've done this project before.
You can share them with your siblings, whatever you want. I'm going to pull in. You should have had, where did it go? All right, we're going to spend a minute with this paper and we're going to just think of some symbols and some things about us, about our community, about our world. You can just use a pencil if you want. I'll probably use a Sharpie so you can see a little bit better. But I'd like to incorporate these things into a hand project that we're going to do. And it's going to be kind of like a massive Zentangle. And so we're going to be pulling in symbols. But I would like to kind of set the intention of gratitude, because a lot of times this kind of crazy time, I know that there's some stressful feelings and some feelings of fear, and you can get rid of those feelings of fear and stress if you turn your thoughts to gratitude, and it works every time. So whenever I'm feeling stress, I start from the top of my head and go all the way down my body, and I just start being grateful for eyes that see, and a mouth that can speak kindness, and a heart that can love. So the idea of gratitude is a very healing thing, and our whole planet needs that right now. So we can be thinking of things about, I put me, so yourself, what are things that you're grateful for? And it might be things that you're not able to participate in right now. Maybe it's your sports, maybe it's a basketball or your cheer. What are some things that are about you that you are grateful for? So if this were me, I know I'm grateful for art, and then I'm going to come over and make a little symbol that might symbolize art. And I might incorporate that into my painting. Right now, when I have nobody in my house but me, I'm really grateful for my dogs and my cat, because they keep me company. So I wish I'd come down. Maybe I'll calm down in a minute. So here's a funny picture of, I'll just do one of Gus. Anyway, so be thinking of things, maybe if you're named Blake Parkinson, you'll probably do a jug of orange juice, because he's really grateful for the jugs of orange juice. I've seen him incorporate that into a lot of his art. It might be a food that you're grateful for. Maybe you are grateful for those days that you can be outside and eating an ice cream cone. And those days, they're coming. Maybe you love pizza, maybe you love a fruit. So trying to come up with some symbols that represent you and what's important to you. And then you can keep moving down, and what is it about your family that you're grateful for? And obviously that you've got a million of those. You could draw your brothers and sisters, or your parents and families come in every way. lots of different ways to have a family. I have kids, and right now I'm by myself, so I'm like, where did my family go? But we still FaceTime and stay connected, and I still feel their love, so it's okay. Maybe your family likes to go to the park. Maybe your family likes to play games or play a sports game together, or go on vacations to the ocean together, see some sunshine. I'm just throwing out a bunch of funny ideas, and you can make yours specific to yours. We won't spend a lot of time on this. I feel like Blake wants to say something, and I kind of want to hear from him. So, hi, Blake. What did you want to talk about? Blake, you keep muting me. Did you want to say something? Hand sanitizer. Yes! We're all grateful for hand sanitizer right now. You are so funny. I thought you were gonna, thanks, Miles. You got a lot. What the heck? Did you buy all the shelves? Because I haven't been able to find any.
I love Amazon.
Amazon, I love it. You guys are funny. Blake, I thought you were drawing a picture of me.
Oh, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
getting
I'll come back to you. Draw that picture of me, and I'm coming back. Okay.
got it.
You can move on to community and friends. Gosh, a lot of things to be grateful for when we're thinking of our community, and think of all of the ways that our hospitals and our professionals are taking care of people. And so if you want to get into community that way, that could be interesting. A lot of people taking care of each other. You see beautiful acts of kindness. So you can think of, or even just your friends. I know Claire and Ryan are friends, so they see each other and they have a beautiful connection just by seeing each other. And so you could do a symbol of something that stands for you too. And then the world, I think our planet needs our love right now. What's amazing about this whole epidemic is everybody is feeling it, and every part of the globe. So we really need to focus on loving everybody through this in all parts of the world, and sending our love and gratitude and intention for healing for the world. So I just put hearts around the world, thinking of the gratitude that we're all connected and we're all in this together. So take a few minutes to work on that page. And while you're working on that, I'm going to pop up my iPad again and show you some images of kind of where we're going with our big project. Does anybody, first of all, have something? Oh, I see a hand up from the Pappas family. Hi.
Hi.
Oh shoot, I unmute and then you unmute. I should get a system.
Unmute now. We're unmuted, right?
Hi, what did you want to say?
Hi. So, I don't know, but Zoe's making fun of my artwork.
Hold that, because that's looking amazing. Put that up right now, that little Zentangle.
Wait, okay, this? She drew all over my paper, first of all.
Thank you. Zoe.
And then I did, for me, I said I'm grateful for basketball. So I have like a bunch of like Zentangle.
Yes.
And then for the Beatles, I did like the Abbey Road, like the crosswalk.
The Beatles,
And I just the swirls.
I'll never forget Zoe's clay beetle heads. That was amazing last summer. Great ideas. And your space and your symbols were looking really interesting in the design. I love it.
Thank you.
Thank you for sharing.
I told you she thought.
Mute. I'm just kidding. Who else? Oh, hi. Hello. Valencia and Azure.
Okay, so do you like my artwork?
Wow. Can I have a Cheeto? Thank you. I'll just need one. Thank you. Oh, we can share in this class. I'm so appreciative. Oh my gosh, you girls are cute. What are some things that you're thinking of that you're grateful for?
No.
Oh, beautiful. Yes, I love it.
Thankful for food, first of all.
Thankful for food, absolutely. It really is amazing what happens when you start getting in that zone of gratitude as to how all those scary feelings can go away, because we really have a lot to be grateful for. So thank
I
you.
respect Diet Coke.
Diet Coke, absolutely. I would be grateful for your hair if I were you, because look at that, what you got going. Yeah. Just so you know, when I got to meet you guys today, I showered and dried my hair and got out of pajamas. So thanks for motivating me. All right. Anybody else want to share? Are we ready to move on here? Gabby always has her hand up. I'm going to share some things from my iPad here. So there's this thing called, I thought we could do a gratitude hand. I want to show you this henna hand. Henna is kind of like a dye that comes from the earth. And some religions and different communities use henna to decorate their body with, it's kind of like a tattoo, but it's not permanent. And like the Hindu religion will decorate the bride in symbols, kind of like the symbols we're talking about. It almost looks like a zentangle, and they do the henna on their bodies. And for the brides, that represents joy, beauty, and spiritual growth. And then the Moroccans will use henna and they'll paint their doors, and they believe that that will chase away the evil, and they use all these different symbols. So I just wanted to show you what some of these cultures are using, and I think it's amazing because it's really like a zentangle. And I'm not going to have you decorate your own bodies today with Sharpie, Blake, don't do it. Your parents might not be happy, but I wanted to show you the designs because they are that same element of line and using patterns and repeating. And so this has been around for years and years and years. The word zentangle probably hasn't been around for that long. So we're going to trace our hand on our paper and then fill it in with zentangle ideas, like these symbols that you just came up with. And you can use both. You can use just lines that don't mean anything but are cool patterns, and you can fill it in that way. And then you can use patterns that or little symbols, and repeat those and make this really all about you. What you'll want to do is use your pencil first, then trace it in Sharpie, and then we can even add paint. So here's some ideas. Look at this piano board, is pretty cool to put the keys in there. That person likes music. And these designs and patterns are just amazing. Valencia, did you have something to say? Oh, there you are. Okay, unmute. I got you. Go ahead.
I want to show you my piece of my.
Hey! That was Sharpie? Okay, well, don't tell your parents I told you to do that, okay?
It's already right there.
Oh, perfect. We're all vested. All right, we're going to put our Sharpies on our paper, okay? The hands are. Oh, you're okay, so I want to show you a henna hand with some color added to it. Whoa, where'd it go? Now it's jumping everywhere. So you can do one hand, you could do a couple of hands, you can incorporate your name and symbols. This was with colored pencils. You have colored pencils. If you would like to, you can add markers, or you can add the watercolor and go in and show the symbols with the watercolor. And we're gonna break up space all over the place, in the back, in the front. Look at these interesting shapes. Look at these point shoes. You've got water and point shoes And words are really cool to incorporate. You've got family, look at those mountains. Really dynamic designs here. Dance. So some of the lines aren't necessarily meaningful, but they're contributing by adding patterns. And look at the cat on the side. It says meow. You see your little eyes and ears. Love life. Really nice. How about this one? This girl, this was from my middle school class, and she took it home and put hours and hours. Look at this. So this project for you might last just the next half hour or 45 minutes, and it might last hours and hours. So I'm not putting a time constraint on it. You can put as much time into it as you want and keep working all week if you'd like. You can see you can get pretty extravagant. So after I finish this guy, I'm pulling out my sketchbook. And make sure you have that front page now on the front. So we're done with these little practice pages that are thinner. Now we're going right for that good watercolor paper so we can add watercolor. And you'll know you have it when you see you've got the brown on the back. So get set up there. If you would like to start with a pencil so that you can erase and you can get your designs in that way, great. But you will want to go in with a Sharpie eventually. I'm going to use a Sharpie from the beginning so that you can see it. You're not going to be able to see my pencil if I do it that way. So your first job is to put your tool in your writing hand. I'm a right-hander, so I'm holding the Sharpie in my right hand, and I'm going to trace my left. And you can decide how your composition is going to be. You can go sideways, you could do two hands, you could do one up and one down. You can do one coming down, so you get to decide the composition. That's working with positive and negative space. The positive space is your hand, the background space is the negative space. So both should be interesting shapes. So I'm just going to take this here. And get my basic hand in there. And then you can start filling it in, and you can use this page to reference, to put some of those symbols in. And again, this is like just a great big Zentangle. And you're going to just start with this same idea of the element of line, just repeating over and over. And somewhere in your piece, I think you should incorporate your name. You can kind of hide it into your design, or you can use your initials in it, but incorporate your name in there somehow. So, and you can just use abstract lines to divide up. So there's Jill in cursive kind of on the side there. And I'm going to make this into a paint palette because it looks like a paint palette. And then I can start doing some of my Zentangles. So some are abstract and some are going to be realistic. And I think the words can be kind of interesting to put in there. I might do the big sun, and I could divide space there. I'm just going with it. You're going to break it up however you want to. You don't have to do it like mine. I would much rather see you come up with whatever's speaking to you. So, are there any questions so far? Or are we doing okay? Raise your hand like this if you have a question. Hey, Adele. Hi. I feel like I need to see your face for a minute. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
Good. Does this make sense to you?
Mhm.
Good. Do you feel, how's your energy when you're in this? Do you feel like you're in a pretty calm, stress-free zone? Good. Good place to be, isn't it?
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm so glad.
Siblings.
What'd you say?
Especially when you have siblings.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I see. You've closed off the doors. You're just by yourself having some alone time. That's a healthy thing, too. We all need our space. Do you have anything you want to show the class?
Not really.
Okay, keep going. You're doing great. Hi, Hurtados. Can I say hi to Eli and Hallie? How are you?
Good, good.
How's it going? Does this make sense to you? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Either of you have something you want to show?
No, not really. Nope.
Nope, says Eli. Eli, those glasses are rad. Oh my goodness. Yeah, cute, cute kids. Thank you for being here. I just love it. Hey, pal. How are you?
Good.
Does this make sense to you?
Yeah.
Good. Do you have anything you want to share? Or are you still just getting into it?
Just getting into it.
All right. Now it's going to take a little time to get into it. I love it. Hi. How are you?
Good.
Cole, what are you working on?
My hand.
Let's see it. You don't have to show it yet. Oh gosh, Claire. Tell me the words. I can't see the words. I see cheer, maybe.
Honor is one of my cheer team's names, and then fame is another, and then that says Sam.
Perfect. I like it. Words can make for interesting design. I love it. Cole, how about you? Are you going to share or no?
Sure. I'm just drawing my hand right now.
Okay, we'll come back to you. How about that?
Okay, thank you.
You're doing great. Are you guys having fun?
Yes.
You're getting along?
Yep.
You're loving each other as siblings? Yes. Nod your head. Say yeah. Thank you, kids. Thank you. Hello. Hi.
Oh, we're on mute.
There you go. We got you. You doing okay?
Yeah.
Gwen knows some of this language. How about you, Lily? You heard some of it
Yeah.
before?
Oh. Some of it.
Can I
I
see?
know.
Do you want to share anything that you're working on?
I just have my hands so far. So.
Great. Good. Or any of your Zentangles or your other pages, or still working? Just
Yeah.
does it all make sense to you? Is that okay? Gwen? All good?
Yeah.
Give me a thumbs up. Where are your dogs?
Outside.
Two. I think mine are too. Might have to call them in to say hi. Okay, thank you for being here. Hey, I'm seeing some faces. You're bested. Hi, I just want to say hi. How are you doing? I feel like you just muted me. Oh, hi, mute.
Oh.
You like each other. I'm glad you're getting along.
Not really.
No. Is this all making sense to you?
Can you come back on us?
Yes, I can. I sure love you. Mute the buttons. Mute him. Come on, mute him. Oh, funny. Hello.
Hello. So my sister made a cake. Zach, come show it.
A cake?
Yeah, she made a mini cake.
Oh my gosh. What? Who made it?
She
Her.
So,
Come on in. Hi, what's your name?
Versailles.
Versailles. You guys have the most amazing names. Versailles, thank you for cooking for our class today.
I just need a moon.
I'm hoping you'll come right over and give me a slice of that because that's pretty amazing. Did you just come up with it?
Yeah.
It's amazing what a little boredom will do, right? Have you made cakes before or taken classes?
I haven't taken classes, but I've done it before.
Well, I think you could teach a class. That is amazing. It's hard to get them to stack and cook them right. Good job. It's nice to meet you.
You too.
Are there 3 girls in your family?
Yeah, 3 girls and 1 boy.
One boy. What a,
1 dog, 3 hamsters.
holy smokes. What a beautiful family. What?
You want to see my hamster?
Maybe. Yeah, hold on. I'll check on these others, but if you get the hamster, sure. Thank you. Who else? Who else?
I just made a moon.
Hey, Miss London, I'm saying hi. How are you, beautiful?
Wait.
You know what you're doing?
A dog.
Feeling okay about it? Perfect. You want to share anything or not yet? No. Okay. That hat's looking great on you. You are so darn cute. And those glasses. All right. Goodbye, London. I grew up with London's mom, Jody. She was a good friend. All growing up, it's so fun to stay connected, isn't it? Who haven't I heard from in a little while? Hey, how are you two doing?
You bit it up or you cut it up.
Hi, Griffin.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
I have to be in a circle.
Give me a little sneak preview.
Do you want to see the thing or not? Like,
Yeah, just turn it around. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Oh my gosh. That is incredible. Look at you're breaking up the space, just the white and the dark. Way to go. Amazing. How are you doing, Ashton?
what?
My neck.
What's yours?
I'm not done, but
Nice. Oh, I like the,
I'm trying to get attention actually.
and I like you've incorporated your name. Perfect. Good job.
Wait, I have to use your hand.
That's cute.
Oh my gosh, are you kidding me? We get all sorts of things in our art class. That thing's huge. That doesn't look like a hamster. It looks like a guinea pig.
Teddy bear hamster is a type of hamster.
What's it called?
A teddy bear hamster.
Teddy bear is huge. Is he nice?
He bites me a lot.
Oh, that's really nice. Does he walk around and is he safe to walk around or will he take off? Is this the brother? Brother, what's your name? What's your name? You got a cute face. What's it?
Come. This is our little brother.
Hi, what's your name?
I'm so been wagging a flowy coming.
Oh my goodness, all those things are so how old are you?
He made up his own name.
Perfect. What?
Ollie did that name to me.
I love it. Great.
Ollie.
Who did Daddy?
I have I have one of the students FaceTiming, so this is a little silly. Hi.
Hi, the iPad died,
Oh,
so, and I don't have it on my phone, and it's not on the computer, so I'm just gonna let you FaceTime them, so they can finish up.
okay. Let's see if I can do that. I don't know if it's gonna let the signal. Let's see.
Can you see them now?
Yep. So I don't think I can mute, so
Just be quiet.
I'm trying to figure out how I can you see there? Okay. See, technology is getting us all figured out. You've had the most of the directions, so we're gonna add some paint to it in a minute, but you can just keep going. Let's take the next 10 minutes or so to just really get into these patterns and designs, and if you can incorporate some of the things from the paper, if you want to put some of those symbols in.
Wait, so it's a hamster?
Yeah, that's
And that's a cat?
no, that's a dog. That's Oreo.
And then that's a duck.
No, that's a dog. That's his go ham. That's his go hamster. That's a hamster. Those are two fishes.
Beautiful. You're incorporating all those little special things into your painting. I love it. Thank you for sharing. Perfect. Remember that thick and thin thing, so some of your space fill in with solid design. I'm kind of moving fast. But when we saw that with Grifflin's, she had some really interesting dark patterns and light patterns.
Pepper.
Is that working for you, Peppus? Can you see okay? Yeah. A little bit? Okay, perfect. Way to think out of the box and make it work. Good job. Tonight's kind of our first time trying this, so next time it will be easier when the technology to log in and we kind of get the hang of it all.
don't need that. Try it. Let's see what this is. Oh. 5%.
After you have your designs going, you can incorporate the colored pencil, and then or you can go right to watercolor, or you can do neither. I don't know, you get to decide. So I want to just show you an example. I think the iPad came back on with them. I want to show you an example of the watercolor. So maybe take just a second and put your eyeballs up here for 1 minute. I just want to show you a wash, and some of you have probably already done this, but maybe try this in one section of your piece. And a watercolor wash, the beauty of watercolor is you want to work with your medium. Like, what is the best, what's so great about watercolor? Well, it's water, and that gives movement to the medium. And so when you understand that, then you're going to treat watercolor to try to be more fluid. There's a lot of different ways, a lot of different techniques. I could spend a full session on just doing watercolor techniques, and I'm not very good at it, so I don't claim to know much, but there's a lot of fun ways to incorporate it. So here's what a wash looks like. I'm gonna just use my paintbrush that's clean in clean water, and then I'm going to fill in a space. Let's see, I'll just do this piece up here, and I'm going to just paint where I want paint. And this is, you can't see it because I'm just putting water. Oh. So it's just clear water, and mine's gonna try to drip out because it's up in the vertical position. Yours will be a little bit easier. But if I fill that space in with water, and I like to watercolor with the tissue. So after it's wet, now I've designated the space where I want my paint to go, and it's not most likely going to drip anywhere except for where I put the water. So watch this for just a minute so you can try this wash. So put your eyeballs up here for a second. I've put water on that, and now these colors are next to each other in an analogous way. That means they are in the order of the color wheel. So if you use colors right next to each other, they're going to blend a little better. So I'm going to just fill it in with kind of plops of paint and allow the water that's already there to move it and blend it. And I can rinse my brush in between. I'm going to go over to the blue. Blue's next to, but do you see, watch how that now drips. Can you guys see okay? Does that show? Hi, Jill. So, oh look, it's trying to go off my page, and that's because I'm vertical, but it really should stay in where you have designated the paint. And then you kind of have to surrender to the process and allow it to do what it's going to do. So if you're really uptight about, oh, I got to have green here and blue there or whatever, then you're not going to enjoy it as much. What the fun part about it is to put it in and just see where it goes. Do you see how that, do you see how it's kind of bleeding? I'm going to turn it this way. Can you guys see that? So put your eyes up there and see how it's, I can even tip it back and forth and let it run into each other. So I want you to try one of your spaces with a wash. So turning it upside down, and now that water is bleeding back into the purple. Watercolor can be pretty fun that way. So now I kind of have a new design that I didn't really pick. It kind of picked itself simply by the process. I can do that. Again, these are analogous colors. There's the warm colors, red, orange, and yellow. So I can pull those into this. This is, in my head, kind of a sun here. Again, use plenty of water with watercolor. I like a tissue to kind of dab up the drips. It's tricky to do watercolor when it's vertical on an easel. Oh, pulling in the blue. Okay, I've made a mistake. That blue came down. Oh my gosh, I don't want blue there. Watercolor is really forgiving. Watch what I can do. I'm gonna take clean water and I'm just gonna go over it and kind of scrub it a little bit. You don't want to scrub too much or you'll pull the paper up. Then take a tissue, and it's actually more forgiving than you would think. And look, it's almost white. So if you get to it kind of quickly, you can usually pull that, erase it off, which you wouldn't think. You'd think it's kind of too permanent, but it's actually can be pretty forgiving if you get to it pretty fast. I'm trying to let it run, but not too much because I'm vertical. If it were flat, it's a little bit easier to control. And that little brush is actually, I think, pretty handy for filling in these little spots. I'm going to add some yellow to that green because I love lime green. So putting yellow on top of it. I still want to rinse my brush in between. So my brush is always clean when it goes to whatever color I have to keep my palette clean. But you can definitely layer and mix on your paper, or you can also use this part of your palette right here if you want to mix a different color. So if I wanted to mix that lime green, I would take clean brush, take a pile of white, or I mean yellow, plop it here, clean brush, a little bit of green, and then mix it here. And now I've created a lime green, my own color. So you can mix watercolors too. And then at the end, you just take a paper towel and clean your palette. So does anybody have any questions? I've kind of let you work here for a little while. Anybody have something to share yet or not quite? Still working? We'll give a few more minutes and then we'll maybe take a peek. Like I said, this might take, you might finish at 6 o'clock and you might finish next week. So this is your project and your timeline, and that's the beauty of this whole thing, is these supplies are in your hands and you can work on it as long or as little as you want. If this is something you want to come back to in the week before we have our next class next week, then this is your stuff to do what you want with it. That green is trying to mix into my ocean. You guys look busy at work. I'm gonna take 2 seconds and run to the restroom. I'll be right back. Can I click on some of you guys to share? Does anybody want to show their stuff? Okay. Hi, Van Wagnans. Why don't you show me? Yeah. Let's see it. Wow, Valencia. Interesting. You're trying to watch and they're running. Don't let them run off your page. That's gorgeous. Look at me with your cute face. Get your face in here. Great. Let's see it, Azure. Can you share yet? Let's see what you got. Wow. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Love the black. Dark, so bold. Oh yeah, don't let it run. I'm sorry. I should make you hold it up. Don't ruin it over it. Thank you. Perfect.
Everything's all good.
Good work. Who else is ready? Is that great? Eli, will you share with us, pal? Hi.
Eli, go.
Hallie's gonna go after.
What?
So.
Okay, you can go at the same time. Oh, nice design. Wow. Are you a Ute? I'm a Ute. Perfect. I love it. Good work. Look at the division of space on both of those. You're trying washes too, Eli. Have you done that before?
What?
Have you done watercolor washes before? Kind of fun, huh? Yeah. Is yours on your copy paper or on that watercolor paper?
What?
Eli, is yours on the front of yours on that watercolor paper? Yeah?
Yeah.
I couldn't tell when we were holding it up. So,
Mine was so.
hey, good job. Thank you for sharing. Are you guys having fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Eli, you having fun?
What?
Are you having fun?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, thank you for being here. It's perfect.
Super.
Who else is ready to share? Gabby, do you want to share? And so, will you?
Yeah.
Let's see it.
Okay, wait.
Oh, now you're muted. Oh, I'll hit unmute. You hit unmute. I can't hear you.
Okay, are we unmuted?
There you go. Yep.
Okay. Okay. So, I don't know if you can see that.
Oh, nice designs.
I did that because I play the trumpet and
Oh.
it kind of looks like the vowels. Whatever.
Yeah.
And then
Lots of mine.
whatever. And then I did the mountains and then I did some bracelets.
I love how those loops are going around the finger. It gives it like a 3D look. Sometimes entangles can take on that art. Have you heard of that? That looks like it's 3D. That's speaking to me right now. That's really amazing. And you're trying to
And then
watercolor.
I did.
Good
Yeah,
job.
and then I'm not done with it, but then I did the Utah because we live in Utah.
Yeah, I like that. Yes.
Yeah, and then I kept one of the fingers blank because I still have like a whole life to go through, so I don't have to fill that one in yet.
And you might want to go over it with Sharpie. If your paper's wet, don't put Sharpie on wet because it will ruin your Sharpie. But when it's dry, you can go over and that will make it really bold with your black Sharpie.
Okay.
How about you?
Thank you.
You share?
Okay. Sure.
Oh, whoa. Oh my goodness. Amazing. Oh, what's coming out of your fingers? Do you like plants and flowers?
Yeah.
Beautiful. And I saw your name hidden in there. Perfect.
Yeah.
With the dark. Are you having fun tonight?
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it too. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Blake, are you ready? Can I zoom in on you for a sec? No? How about the buttons? Can I see what you guys have going? Yeah? There you are. Hi. Show me your stuff. Now I can't hear you, silly goose. Unmute. I hit unmute, then you hit unmute.
Can you guys hear us?
Oh yeah, there you are. Ooh, show me that again. Yeah, it's like very realistic. Nice take on that. Oh my goodness. And you're blending with washes. I love it. Good job, pal. Let's see, Miss Katie. Oh, look how bold that is. Put your face in next to it so I can see your face. Look at the black. That's amazing. So, and you know what might be interesting is to just do color all on the background and leave the hand black and white. That would be an option. But whatever you do.
That's what I'm.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I can feel it. Good job. Thank you for being here.
You should feel it.
Can I come in? How about Adele? Can I come into yours? Are you ready? Hi. Can you hear? Oh, who's the cute sister? Cool. Oh, look at your, good job. Ooh, did you just try the wash and that red in the flower there?
Yeah.
Beautiful. Have you done that before?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah, that's amazing. Ooh, and you've got that circular thing going around your finger too, and your name in there. That's beautiful. You could spend hours on that. I suggest you just go for hours. That's amazing. Good job. Thank you for being here. Are you having a good night? What a sweet face. Thank you. Okay, how about Gwen and Lily? Do you mind sharing? Can I come into you guys? Do you guys mind showing me what you got going? Oh, cool. Oh my gosh, I knew you'd come up with something. Wow, it's like it's upside down and dropping stuff. That's amazing. Oh.
There's stuff coming from this finger too, but it's like white. Can't really see it, but.
Are you using that wash with that? The wash is amazing. Good work. I love the Sharpie is really, it's a good contrast. Lily, do you want to share too?
So I have like, this one's more about like other people and this one's more about me, kind of.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Great designs. Lily, I feel like you could go for hours too. Do you think?
You what?
That I feel like you could put hours into that too. So work all week on it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for being here. Are you girls having a good night?
Yep, I ruined mine.
Hey, how did you?
Coloring it.
Get out of here. Brown, Ashton, and Griffin, can I come in and see what you guys got going? Hi. Let me see your progress.
She can feel it, Katie.
Let's see it. Oh, no, I can't hear you. Oh, no, I can't hear you. Oh, I'll unmute you. Okay, Griffin, I can hear you. Go ahead. Show me.
Okay.
Yep.
Did this.
Oh, yeah. Put your face in there, would you? In that screen. Oh, my gosh. Amazing. Wow. Look at your colors. You're mixing colors, aren't you? Good work. Nice of yours, Ash.
Yep.
Let's see it.
I'm not done, but I did this.
Oh, it's so bright. Pull it up. Put your face in there too. Scoot in there. Scoot your face in there. Nice colors. That might be interesting for you too, to keep the hand black and white and do colors on the outside. Or either way, whatever, just ideas. Thank you. Good work today. Blake, can I come in and see your stuff? What you got going?
We should do.
Let's see it.
Huh? 2-on-2. You went for me. I almost missed the ball.
You mind sharing? Oh yeah.
And me.
Nice.
Yeah, right.
Did you put orange juice in there?
I play basketball, okay? Forgot about me.
Good job.
There's Blake.
Keep it going.
We see Blakey.
They can't hear you.
Yeah, they can. Yeah, they can. It was still not
Hello. Hi, Claire. Hi, Cole.
And I guess.
Oh, I like that.
Can I see it?
Whoa, what's going on with that?
Claire, and can you see your work? Do you mind showing it? Oh, nice. Look at the washes you got there. Cool. Let's see yours, Miss Claire. Wow. Oh my gosh. These are incredible. Put your faces together and act like you like each other. I'm taking your picture. Cute. Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining me tonight. Did you guys have a good time?
Thank you.
You're good kids. Hi, Marianne. Thank you for sharing these cute faces with me. It means the world to me. All right. Hi, Hayden. How are you?
Hi.
How's it going?
Good.
Is it going? Wow. Oh my goodness. To start in with the background. Amazing. Nice work and the layers. Gosh, you did a lot of detail. Is that with Sharpie? I can't tell.
The hand is.
Okay. Yeah, I love it. You could let the paint dry and then go over it with Sharpie too. You could do back and forth. You don't want to put Sharpie on the wet paint, but nice design, pal. I'm so glad you joined us tonight. Thank you. Perfect. Let's see. Have we talked to partners? Hi. Cute. Did you switch spaces or did you put that around?
Put it around.
I love this. Amazing. Oh my goodness. Can I see Azure or will it drip?
I
I'm
showed
gonna
you
put it
night.
at a different angle.
Yeah, do it at a different angle and let me see both
I
your
have a different angle too.
ready. 1, 2.
My thing's tripping.
Oh no. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, amazing. So, guys,
Get up.
okay, one more.
Hey, no. It's too
Thank you.
No.
Okay. And so I not yet. Usually I haven't seen the final project. How about Miss London? Did I get yours? Hi. You guys,
Get up.
can I see what you're working on?
So I'm doing my hand.
Oh wow.
My hand is this one,
Yes.
and this is my friend's hand, like
Interesting.
this thing he likes.
Oh, that's so cute. 2 hands together. It makes you feel connected, doesn't it? What's your friend's name?
Andy.
Must be pretty special to be your friend. Thank you. Did you have a good night tonight? I enjoyed sharing this with you.
No, Parker, redo it.
Okay.
Yes.
Anybody not?
Hey,
Please get off the toilet.
I'm a monkey. I'm a monkey.
Funny.
So, did I get you Hurtados? Did I get your final piece? Yes? Okay, I think I did. So that's it for tonight. We're a few minutes past 6. So I just want to thank you so much. I'm taking your picture. Thank you for being with me and sharing space with me in this electronical way. Ooh, that's nice, Katie. Be sure to be good cleaners. You guys are all grown up enough that your parents shouldn't have to clean up your stuff. So you'll want to rinse your brushes out and rinse your bowl out and then find a safe space to keep all of this together, okay? And then I will have a new set of supplies for you on Monday morning after 10 o'clock. You can come pick it up whenever it's convenient for you. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 4. Hi, Miles. Cutie. Okay, have a good night. Thank you. See you later.